There we go. Looks like I have audio again. Alright. I think we are back in business. Let's go ahead and do this. Maybe. Why am I getting so much lag with my Stream Deck while actually streaming? That's not a good sign, though. Well, we'll go with it. Alright. I think we are back. Hopefully we are back. Everybody's looking good, sounding good. Let me know in the chat room. Ryan O'Toole says, welcome back. Hey Ryan, can you hear me? Audio sounding good? Let me know, please. And then we... Okay, I swear something is still not perfectly working correctly here. Which is majorly annoying because, yeah, there's my mailbag sign. Okay, thank you. I don't need that up right now. Now it's back. Alright. I don't know what is going on with my Stream Deck, but it's not playing nice. So I'm gonna be doing it old school without my Stream Deck, unfortunately. But we are back. Alright. Anyway, let's go ahead. And I can't really edit live streams, so yeah, this has been fun. This is the fun of doing live streams, because you run tests all afternoon, everything looks great, sounds great, whatever. You go live and all hell breaks loose. But looks like everything is back, and I'm not going to be touching my cough button because apparently when I do, the audio goes out and doesn't want to come back right away. So yeah, that's a lot of fun. Anyway, as we discussed in the earlier live stream, Black Panther earned... Let me move this up so it might be easier if I can move that up. If my OBS actually behaves correctly, and now it just froze up entirely. If anybody wants to chip in and donate their tax return to me so I can buy a new computer, that would be fantastic. I would greatly appreciate that, because this thing is really pissing me off lately. I'm just saying. I don't understand why it doesn't want to behave the way that it should. And it was working fine all afternoon, of course, and then, of course, nothing. Alright. But it looks like we are back. Looks like I got 4 people back in the stream. So, as I was saying in the earlier stream, prior to all the technical difficulties going down, Black Panther had a tremendous opening weekend with $192 million. Followed by Peter Rabbit, which came in with 17.25. 50 Shades Freed earned 16.9. I don't know why. Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, earned just shy of another 8. Still doing fantastic. 1517 to Paris earned 7.6. Greatest Showman finally, after 9 weeks in release, dropped out of the top 5, but still managed to pull in $5.1 million. The new animated film, Early Man, made $3.15, Maze Runner The Death Cure with 2.5, Winchester 2.2, and Samson just under 2. Black Panther, with the $192 million estimated opening, brings that into the top 5 of all time, which is just amazing, beating out Avengers Age of Ultron, falling just shy of the original Avengers movie, and Jurassic World at $208 million. And of course, you have the 2 new Star Wars films, Episode 8 and Episode 7, being in the top 2 places of all time. And as we were discussing just before the previous stream went out, Justice League earned $228 million its entire domestic run of 13 weeks. Black Panther earned $192 million in just 3 days. That is absolutely amazing. I don't think you can overstate the power of Marvel movies and audiences' complete dislike or distrust or whatever you want to call it for the DC universe, because taking a look at those numbers, it is not looking good for DC, unfortunately. The Land Squid says, wow, I didn't realize that Jumanji was still holding on that well. Yeah, man, it is absolutely amazing. Jumanji just crossed $900 million worldwide, which is incredible. I heard that they are fast-tracking a sequel. I believe that's going to be... I believe that the Jumanji sequel is even slated for next year. I heard that they were fast-tracking it, but don't quote me on that because I did not do much show prep today. As I mentioned at the top of the previous stream, the bronchitis and cough are still holding on. And again, I'm not going to mute my mic because apparently when I do and I unmute it, it does not unmute right away. I'm not sure if it's a problem with my Stream Deck or just a factor of that I'm running a 7 or 8 year old computer trying to do all this, but we're making it work. We are here, we are live, and as I said, I did not do a whole lot of show prep this week because of the bronchitis. I wasn't sure if I was going to feel up to it, along with battling depression this past week, and everything. I was not sure if I was going to be doing a show today. Turns out that I probably should not have done a show given all these technical difficulties, but I just love hanging out with you and having a lot of fun, so we are doing it. We are plowing through. Please bear with my coughing. I deeply apologize for that, but because I didn't do any show prep, we are just going to be hanging out probably for the next half hour or so, and I'll be taking a lot of questions from the chat room. Let me pull up my mailbag graphic. I didn't want that up earlier, but it popped up. If you have a topic or question that you want on a future episode of Jeffito's Movie Blog Sunday Show, go ahead and email me anytime, mailbag@jeffitosmovieblog.com, and be sure to put the word topic in the subject line. It's hugely important. If you do not put the word topic in the subject line, I probably will not see the email. But keep those emails as short as possible. Keep them movie or movie news related, and maybe that will be a topic or question on a future show. Kate Smith in the chat room says, do you think Infinity War will pass up Titanic or Avatar for the top grossing film of all time? Probably not. And if my computer was working better, I would pull up the Box Office Mojo result page that lists the worldwide and domestic totals of all time. I think that is too far for Infinity War to go, but as we've seen now with Black Panther opening weekend, absolutely crushing it, and clearly Infinity War will do even better than that. it's not going to be out of the realm of possibility, I don't think. But at this point, I would say maybe a 10% chance of becoming the top grossing film of all time. How's Hollywood Reviews says he's back. Hey Russ, thank you so much for coming back and sticking by me. Ryan O'Toole says, any guesses on a box office prediction for Solo, a Star Wars story? Not yet. It's still really early. I think it will cross 100 million opening weekend. How much above that, I'm not sure. It is still ways out. I will say that Solo, a Star Wars story, looks great. And my anticipation level is building for it. However, I'm still not fully on board with Alden Ehrenreich as Han Solo. And based on the 2 trailers, that has not really done a whole lot for me, at least his character. Everything else looks fantastic. And Alden Ehrenreich is a good actor, so I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. It's just that so far, I have not fully bought into him as Han Solo, although there were a few moments in those trailers that were very Han Solo-esque, so I'm hoping that he does well. I have all the faith that he will do well, because he is such a great actor. He was by far the best part of Hail Caesar, which came out a couple years ago. By far, the best part of that movie was Alden Ehrenreich. He's a tremendous actor. It's just that, from what I've seen so far, I've not fully bought into it. Everything else looks great. Donald Glover as Lando looks fantastic. The ships and the locations and the droids and just the entire aesthetic of the film looks fantastic. But, yeah, for right now, I think it's still really... I don't think it's going to have a problem crossing 100 million opening weekend, although there are a bunch of naysayers that I've seen recently saying it'll earn like between 50 and 80 million opening weekend. I think they are betting way low. I don't think that Solo's going to have a problem crossing 100 million. It's just that at this point, I'm not sure how much above that I'm willing to go. Stay tuned. As we get closer, I'll dial in the numbers a little bit more and have a better feel for that. Ryan O'Toole asks, am I still in second place on the year for box office predictions? I'm not sure because I've actually been idle the past 2 weeks. Again, between the depression and the bronchitis and everything, I have not done predictions. I've not done videos for that. So the numbers will be a little bit off, and I have not run the numbers and seeing how other people have done the past couple of weeks in comparison to my being idle. But yeah, we'll find out next week when I do a new predictions show and update all of that. The other thing that I wanted to bring up, and this is not movie news or movie related, but I did want to bring up today. And as long as I'm totally freestyling it and having a bunch of issues with my computer and everything else, Ryan O'Toole says, I'm predicting another first place finish for you on box office predictions. Thanks, man. I appreciate the support. It is going to be a tougher year because I did add box office report into the mix. I discovered that website back in, I believe, like November or something, and he is usually spot on. He's really good at predicting, so I'm going to have my work cut out for me to repeat in first place for predictions, but we'll find out. Anyway, as I was saying, one thing not movie news or movie related that I did want to bring up today, it's more YouTube related. And I know that I've got a couple other fellow creators here. But on Tuesday, for us small creators under 1,000 subscribers and under 4,000 hours watch time, we will lose monetization on our channels. Not a huge deal for me. I mean, we're talking maybe $3 or $4 a month that I'm going to be losing out on. So not a huge deal. But I just wanted to let you guys know that I will unfortunately no longer be earning any ad revenue or any money from YouTube for my videos until I do cross that 1,000 subscriber milestone and the 4,000 hours of watch time on my channel. And of course my Stream Deck is not working, so let me pull up this here. Taking a live look at my subscriber count, I am at 383, which is fantastic. I love it, but I still have a long way to go until I reach the 1,000 subscriber milestone and become eligible for monetization, for super chat, and all that other good stuff. I did set a goal before all these changes went down and everything else. I did set a goal of reaching 1,000 subscribers by my 2-year anniversary, which is coming up in May, on May 8th. That's still my goal. That's still, I think, relatively achievable. So that aspect is not changing. The only thing that is changing is I will be losing out those few dollars a month, which, again, is not a big deal. But when I'm barely scraping by as it is, let's face it, that extra $4 or $5 a month does go a long way. So if you do want to support me, of course, there's my Patreon account, which I will get into here a little bit later. I know a couple of you guys are Patreon supporters of mine. Greatly appreciate that. But the best way to support me, apart from clicking the thumbs up, liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing to the channel, the best way that you can support me is through my Amazon affiliate link. If you guys just go to jeffitosmovieblog.com/Amazon and use that as your entryway to Amazon, anything that you purchase, be it Blu-rays, books, anything on Amazon, as long as you start your session via my link, jeffitosmovieblog.com/Amazon, anything that you purchase, I will get a nice little kickback on that. Again, it's not much, but it does help out tremendously. So that is great. That was just another thing that I had in my brief show notes because, again, I wasn't even sure if I was going to be doing a show tonight or not. But the whole YouTube monetization thing is something that I wanted to bring up. Rhino Tool again says, I've accepted it at this point. Let's put our attention on continuing to make great content and doing what we love, talking movies. Absolutely. Excuse me. Damn it. No, I never got into this for the money. As I started doing it, the money started rolling in, and hey, that's kind of nice. And I do still want to turn YouTube into a full-time job eventually. But for the time being, yeah, like I said, I'm currently at 383 subscribers. I set a goal back, last year sometime, like October or November, that that I wanted to reach 1,000 subscribers by my 2-year anniversary on May 8th. That is still my goal. That is still achievable, I believe. And yeah, I mean, the monetization does kind of suck, but I'm not going to let that affect me or my plans or anything. At this point, the biggest obstacles in my way the last 4 weeks or so, has been the stupid cough and for a little bit of depression that I was dealing with. The depression, thankfully, is on its way out. The cough, not so much. It's still hanging on, as you guys can hear. But we are getting through it. We are getting over it. We will continue to crush it here in 2018. I did have a lot of plans for 2018, and unfortunately being sidelined the last couple of weeks has kind of pushed that off to the wayside. There were 2 series of videos that I had wanted to do, and I probably still will get to them. Although one of them especially is going to be a little bit of a time crunch, and I'm not sure if I'll be able to do it in time. But I did want to review all the Best Picture nominees. before the Oscars in a new video series that I was going to call Road to the Oscars. And I was going to review one or two of those films every week leading up to the Oscars. Still planning on doing that. Hope to get like 2 or 3 out this week for you guys. But, you know, again, being kind of sidelined and sick and out of commission for the past couple of weeks, put a sideline on that. The other thing that I was going to do was I was going to review all the MCU movies leading up to Infinity War. Had I started at the beginning of the year, it worked out perfectly that you do one film a week, and the last week Infinity War comes out. Of course, now we are a little bit behind. I'm still going to try to do that. I'm still going to try to crush that out before Infinity War. Hope to do Iron Man and The Incredible Hulk at least this week. Again, I'm not sure if that will happen or not, because I am still not feeling 100%. Still don't have all my energy back, and you know, still the depression thing is kind of hanging on a little bit. But those are 2 things that I had wanted to do to kick off this year and to continue to drive views and drive my growth and get some more subs. So that will be happening hopefully starting this week. And yeah, I am still going to make it my goal to reach 1,000 subscribers by May 5th. I do think that's really achievable. I've had pretty good growth so far this year. I started the year just under 325. I think it took me like an extra day or two to hit 325. Now I'm up to 383 already, so, and that's without really doing a whole lot the past couple of weeks. So I do think that is a reasonable goal and an achievable goal for me to reach 1,000 subscribers by my 2-year anniversary. Ryan O'Toole just put in the chat, let's make it happen, guys. Jeff to 1K. Absolutely, man. Let's get that going. Be sure to like, comment, share my videos with other movie fans. Let them know that I exist. Let them know that I'm around. That's going to be a huge way to make it grow. Katie Smith in the chat room says, Jeffito, you should have 100 million subs. Dude, that would be fantastic. I am nowhere near that point yet, but I do appreciate the support and the encouragement. That is the dream. I mean, I'm not going to lie. The dream is to reach the level of, you know, John Campea, Chris Duckman, Jeremy Johns. Those guys are such a major influence on my channel. John Campea especially. I mean, how I'm going to be structuring this Sunday show is very much structured off of Collider Movie Talk and the John Campea show. So that is what I'm aiming for. That is the dream. That is the goal. Ryan O'Toole asks, have you caught up with the Schmodown? No, I am not. I have like 3 or 4 episodes that I need to catch up on and play along with and record. I will probably start doing that tonight and then tomorrow before I have to go into work. So hopefully I will be caught up by Tuesday when a new episode drops. Again, between the bronchitis and the depression for the past week or 2 and everything else, I've just not been able to do that. Have I heard of Fantasy Movie League? Actually, yes, I have, and I did set up an account there a couple weeks ago. Have not really played around with it a whole lot yet, but I am familiar with it. I do have an account over there, and hopefully I can start playing this week or next. Cade, if you have an account, go ahead and email me at, where did my mailbag go? Go ahead and email me at mailbag@jeffitosmovieblog.com. Let me know that your username and everything else over there, and maybe we can be in the same league. Jamie Hughes. Hey, Jeff. How you doing, man? Fist bump, high five, Jamie. How you doing? Good to see you here. We are just kind of hanging out and kind of freestyling it today. Between tech issues and my being sick and depressed the last week or two, I did not put together any show notes. This is really loose, kind of flying by the seat of my pants. The tech issues, unfortunately, were rearing their ugly head again today. Despite my testing it all afternoon, I still ran into issues on the first stream and still a little bit here on the second stream. So it is very laid back, very unprofessional, but it is what it is. Jamie Hughes says, glad to see you back. Hope you're feeling better. I'm getting better slowly. And slowly is the key word. As I mentioned a couple minutes ago, I think before you went in, the depression is pretty much gone. Still kind of holding on, but I am getting better slowly. The cough, unfortunately, I think I had a little bit of a relapse the last couple of days, and coming back without that. Rhino Tool says, freestyle, does that mean we are going to get a freestyle rap as well? No, you are not. I cannot rap to save my life. Fortunately or unfortunately, you guys are not going to hear me rap or sing or any of that. No, freestyle just meant that I did not put together show notes like I normally do. Not really. Oh, Jamie Hughes, you are hilarious, man. No, I did not put together any show notes other than the Black Panther stuff, and I did not have any mailbag questions this week, so there is not going to be a mailbag segment. So we are just doing it freestyle, hanging out in the chat room. Love hanging out with you guys and talking movies. It has been a while since I've done this, so here we are. Also, I was hoping to have this be a little bit more professional, and was hoping I was not have any tech issues and would be able to kind of get in the way, or get on the path rather, of doing these Sunday live shows the way that I envision them to be. Unfortunately, that's not really happening, and I don't know what is going on with my computer. Again, if anybody wants to send their tax return to me as a donation to put towards a new computer, that would be fantastic, because my system is clearly showing its age. I'm not sure, it's like 7 or 8, maybe even 9 years old at this point. I mean, we're getting it to work, but not without a lot of stress and headaches and issues. Rhino Tool says, I'll be sure to send one in for next week. Hey man, you've sent in questions the past couple of weeks. I greatly appreciate that. Look forward to it. And again, if anybody is watching on the replay, or if anybody else wants to put a topic or question for a future episode of Jeffito's Movie Blog Sunday show, email me anytime, mailbag@jeffitosmovieblog.com, and put that word topic in the subject line. If you do not put the word topic in the subject line, I will not see your email. Be sure to keep your emails related to movie news or the world of movies in general. Any general questions will not be answered. They may be saved for future Q&A video, but they will not be answered here on the Sunday live shows. Jamie Hughes says, have you seen the BAFTA results? I have not. I do not really follow the BAFTAs because I'm here in the States. I probably should follow the BAFTAs because I am a film fan and I do have a lot of overseas fans. But no, I have not seen the BAFTA results yet. If you feel like sharing the results, Jamie, in the chat, by all means, go ahead. Ryan O'Toole asks, are you going to check out Ex Machina before Annihilation next week? I love Ex Machina. I've already seen it. It is one of my favorite films of the past couple years. In terms of will I be reviewing it or not, I'm hoping to, but don't hold me to it. I'm hoping to review Ex Machina before Annihilation. I've just got a lot of other things on tap and in the hopper of stuff that I want to get out. Again, because the depression and the stupid cough, bronchitis, whatever it is. Excuse me as I pop another halls and try to soothe this. Because of the not being in the mood to do videos for the past couple of weeks, I'm kind of falling behind on those two series that I was talking about, The Road to the Oscars and Road to Infinity War. So I do want to get those started as well. I do hope to review Ex Machina before Annihilation. Let me just say that Ex Machina is a fantastic film. I absolutely love it. If you've not seen it yet, go ahead and check it out. I think I still have the Blu-ray. I don't think I sold it. I hope I didn't sell it. That'll make it a little bit more difficult to do a review of. But I do think I still have the Blu-ray. So I do hope to do a review of that before Annihilation next week. Jamie Hughes says 3 Billboards was the big winner at the BAFTAs with 5 wins, including Best Film. Not really surprising. I know that 3 Billboards is a favorite for the Oscars coming up here in, holy crap, 2 weeks. I think just 2 weeks. 3 Billboards is a favorite going into the Oscars. I don't think it's going to win, however. And the reason being is that its director, and again, I did not do show prep, I forget the guy's name. The guy who directed 3 Billboards was not nominated, despite the movie being nominated for Best Picture, Best Lead Actress, and 2 Best Supporting Actor nominations. So the fact that he was not nominated for Best Director makes me think that it will not win Best Picture. Ryan O'Toole says Martin McDonagh. Yeah, that was the guy's name. The fact that Martin McDonagh was not nominated for Best Director makes me think that the Academy is going to go a different direction for Best Picture, because usually they're at least nominated if the movie ends up winning Best Picture. Not always the case. It has happened before where it doesn't work out that way. But honestly, I'm thinking it may go with either Lady Bird or The Shape of Water as Best Picture. And I would not be surprised if Guillermo del Toro wins the Best Picture or Best Director nominee win. Ryan O'Toole says, totally snubbed. You're not wrong. I am not. And a little bit of a spoiler in case I do get my 3 Billboards review up before the Oscars. I liked 3 Billboards. I do think it was slightly overhyped. I'm not fully on board with it. But I did like it more than Lady Bird. I thought that Lady Bird, decent movie, enjoyable, but severely overhyped. And I felt that way about a lot of films this year and recently in terms of what gets nominated. Good films, absolutely, but I'm not fully on board like, oh yeah, that's the Best Picture, whatever. For me, of the we have 9 films this year. I think there were 9 films being nominated for Best Picture this year. Of those 9, I do think that Shape of Water may be my favorite, and therefore is my choice to win. But a lot of people love 3 Billboards, a lot of people love Lady Bird, Dunkirk, Get Out, Call Me by Your Name. I'm forgetting a couple of other ones. But for my predictions right now, will have to say that The Shape of Water, in my mind, is probably going to win. Jamie Hughes puts in, Lady Bird has not been released here in the UK yet, but I think it will be The Shape of Water. Del Toro won Best Director at the BAFTAs, so I think he will win at the Oscars too. Yeah, for sure. Del Toro also won at the Golden Globes and I believe the Directors Guild. So he definitely has the momentum going into it. So I think it's pretty much a certainty that he will win Best Director. Best Picture is still kind of up in the air, but my read on it, my take, is that it may be a dark horse and it may win. Ryan O'Toole says, as long as it's not Dunkirk, I will be happy. I love Dunkirk. I know, Ryan, that you did not like Dunkirk as much as I did. I thought Dunkirk was a fantastic film, and I'm not going to say your username because that's kind of vulgar, and I love you. Thank you, but yeah, I don't know you, and you are not going to be there. Jamie Hughes says, Ryan O'Toole, same. Yeah, Dunkirk was a very good movie. I understand why people did not like it. But I thought it was great. I do think it's one of Nolan's better films. I really enjoyed it. It was unconventional in this way it told its story, but I think it really worked for the story that he was telling. Jamie Hughes says, let's go really left field here and say that The Post will win. I was a little bit disappointed in The Post, to be honest. Good film, absolutely, but you have the holy trinity of Steven Spielberg directing, Tom Hanks, lead actor, Meryl Streep, lead actress. I mean, that should have been a home run movie, and I think it fell short. I'm hoping that Spielberg gets back. I'm hoping that Ready Player One is everything that I hope it's going to be. But The Post did not really do anything for me. It was good. I enjoyed it, but I was expecting a lot more. Again, considering that you have the holy trinity of Steven Spielberg, Tom Hanks, and Meryl Streep. It should have been a lot better than what it was, I think. But again, all film is subjective. A lot of people liked The Post. It did get nominated. I don't think it's going to win. But it is a good film, and if you've not seen it yet, go ahead and check it out. Ryan O'Toole says, I respect Dunkirk as a wonderful technical work, but that's about it. Happy Nolan gets a Best Director nomination. It is possible that Nolan will win. I think the momentum right now is towards Del Toro, but I would not be surprised if Christopher Nolan ends up with a win at the end of the day as well. Again, because it is such a wonderfully directed film. But yeah, at this point, for my money, my bet is going to be on Del Toro for Shape of Water. Ryan O'Toole says, shocked that Tom Hanks did not get a nomination only because he is so loved by the Academy. This is true. He is, but I don't think he was one of the top 5 performances of the year. And that's the thing. I mean, Best Actor, Best Actress, Best Supporting Actor, Best Supporting Actress, those categories only have 5 spots available. So you have to be in the top 5. And this may be an unpopular opinion, but I do not think that Tom Hanks was a top 5 performance in The Post this year. Uh, Katie Smith writes, Streep and Hanks are considered to be the best male and female actors of all time, with one of the best directors. Good movie, but yeah, it had so much potential. That's exactly what I'm talking about. You know, you have that holy trinity of Spielberg, Streep, and Hanks, and you expect absolute greatness. You know, and for me, at least, it did not live up to that. Great film. I really enjoyed it. I liked it a lot. But, you know, my expectations were way up here, given that holy trinity of Spielberg, Streep, and Hanks. And the movie ended up being, like, right there. You know, so there's that little bit of disconnect between what I was expecting it to be and where it wound up. Katie Smith also says, I think Best Picture's got to go to either Lady Bird or Call Me By Your Name. I still have to check out Call Me By Your Name. That and Phantom Thread are the two Best Picture nominees that I still need to see. But yeah, I was not a fan of Lady Bird. Again, good movie, but overhyped, in my mind. I enjoyed it. Saoirse Ronan did a good job. Laurie Metcalf did a good job as... No, that's why she's nominated for Best Supporting Actress. Greta Gerwig, or whatever her name is, did a great job of directing it. It's obvious why she got Best Director. But for me, I don't think it was the best picture of the year, unfortunately. Ryan O'Toole says, Denzel surely wasn't a top 5 performance this year. Haha, but that's my opinion. Yeah, I don't understand why Denzel Washington got nominated for Roman J. Israel Esquire. Yeah, it's a lot of... In almost every category, there's one or two head scratchers this year where it's like, you put that ahead of that. And in the Best Actor category, Denzel is definitely that head scratcher. Don't really understand why. What movie is your money on? Again, my money for Best Picture is going to be The Shape of Water. Again, because I do think that Del Toro is pretty much going to be a lock for winning Best Director. I do think that Shape of Water will win. It's my personal favorite. I can see the Academy giving it 2-3 billboards, which again is another movie that I liked, but thought was slightly overhyped a little bit. For me, I'm going with The Shape of Water. Russell from Howl's Hollywood Reviews says, if anyone got robbed for an Oscar snub, it's Jessica Chastain in Molly's Game for sure. Streep did not carry the post like Chastain did for Molly's Game. I still actually have not seen Molly's Game. Yeah, so I cannot comment on that yet, but everything that I've heard, absolutely right. That Jessica Chastain really knocked it out of the park with Molly's Game. Ryan O'Toole says, still disappointing that Blade Runner 2049 did not get more love, but what are you going to do? Yeah, it is disappointing. Clearly, best cinematography, best visual effects, it did get some love. I was, almost certain that it was not going to get Best Picture or Best Director or anything like that. But, yeah, you're right. I would have liked to have seen it get a little bit more love from the Academy. Russell says, excellent film, absolutely got to check it out. It is on my list. Unfortunately, no theaters around here are showing it anymore. So I'm probably going to have to wait until it's available streaming or on demand or Redbox, Netflix, whatever. Oh, absolutely, Ryan. Denis Villeneuve should have gotten nominated for Best Director for Blade Runner. Without a doubt. That Best Director category, was so stacked this year, and it would have been nice to see Denis Villeneuve get nominated. Yeah, well, so we were talking about that earlier, with McDonough getting snubbed for Best Director for Three Billboards. And that is why I don't think that Three Billboards is going to win Best Picture. Simply because they did not name McDonough Best Director, because, in spite, Three Billboards was nominated for Best Picture, Best Lead Actress, and 2 Best Supporting Actor nominations. The fact that Martin McDonough did not get nominated for Best Director leads me to think and to speculate that he is not going to get, or that Three Billboards is not going to win Best Picture because he did not get nominated for Best Director. What else? Kate Smith says, I don't think it should have got Best Picture nom, not enough excellent performances. It does Robot, but it should have gotten a Best Director nom. Talking about Blade Runner 2049, absolutely. You're right. Jamie Hughes says, if it helps ease the pain, 2049 won Best Cinematography at the BAFTAs. That is good news, and I hope that carries over to the Oscars. I do want to see Roger Deakins win Best Cinematography for Blade Runner 2049 at the Oscars. That's fantastic. Thank you for sharing that, Jamie. I really do appreciate that. Jamie Hughes says that it won Best Visual Effects as well. Excellent. Russell says we do have the possibility of Sam Rockwell winning Best Supporting Actor and Best Actress being Frances McDormand, which would make that lack of nomination for McDonough even crazier. You're not wrong. Clearly he got snubbed because you have all those other nominations for Three Billboards. But again, I keep saying it, and maybe I'm wrong, because it has happened in the past where the director doesn't get nominated, but the picture does end up winning. But the fact that he did not get nominated as Best Director leads me to think, even though Frances McDormand will probably win Best Actress, even though Sam Rockwell has a good shot of winning Best Supporting Actor, I don't think that Three Billboards is going to take home the grand prize of Best Picture of the Year. No, maybe I'll be mistaken. Maybe in a couple weeks the Oscars will happen and we'll all be surprised. But I do not think that it's going to go to Three Billboards, simply because he did not get that nomination. Jamie Hughes, again, talking about the BAFTAs. Both Sam Rockwell and Frances McDormand apparently won. Ryan O'Toole says he's going with Margot Robbie to win Best Actress, most likely in the minority there. Margot Robbie, for me, is my dark horse. I do think that they are going to give it to either Frances McDormand, or I would like to see, why am I drawing blank on her name now? Sally Hawkins for Shape of Water. I think Saoirse Ronan has a good shot, but Margot Robbie was excellent in I, Tonya, and certainly deserving of the nomination. I would not be surprised if she wins, but I do think it's going to go to one of those other three that I mentioned, either Frances McDormand, Sally Hawkins, or Saoirse Ronan. Kate Smith, well, even though the movie had great performances, that doesn't mean the movie and director were necessarily great. It needs more than just amazing performances. Yeah, you're not wrong. And again, I think that's part of the reason why, in my mind, it's not going to win Best Picture of the Year. Jumping back to Three Billboards. Directing wise, yeah, he was snubbed for sure. But there wasn't anything spectacular about the direction of the film. And in terms of Best Picture, it doesn't land in my top 5 for me personally. Again, I do think it was slightly overhyped, and I still enjoyed the film, but didn't live up to those high expectations that everybody says that it is. But yeah, I mean, that's probably why he did not get the Best Director, and again, just reinforcing my point that I do not believe that it's going to win Best Picture. Hey guys, we are coming up on 50 minutes here on this stream. I think I'm going to start wrapping things up here. Again, I do apologize for all the technical issues on the first stream and the beginning part of the second stream. Hope to get that worked out by next week. Although again, was running a bunch of tests earlier this afternoon and everything looked and sounded great. The Stream Deck was working fine. I was able to do everything. Unfortunately, when I hit start streaming and was actually going live, then all hell broke loose and tech issues up the wazoo. Thanks in no small part to my 7, 8, 9-year-old computer, however old the thing is. But it worked. We managed to get through it. Thank you so much as always for watching. Again, let me pull up a couple of screenshots here, which would have been easier if my Stream Deck was working, but it was not. Looking at my live sub count, we are at 383. My goal is still to reach 1,000 subscribers by May 8th. Let's make it happen. Share my channel, share my videos with other movie fans. Let them know that I exist and that we do this show every Sunday. Would love to grow my audience and get more people here in the chat room as well. Also, because of the YouTube monetization, the best way to go ahead and support me outside of liking, commenting, supporting is to use my Amazon affiliate link. Every time you shop on Amazon, go ahead and bookmark that link, jeffitosmovieblog.com/Amazon. Doing so will greatly support my channel. I do get a small kickback on anything that you purchase. Not a whole lot, but every little bit helps. Thank you so much as always for watching. I'm going to wrap things up here. Thanks again for watching. We will see you next week. Until then, I will see you at the movies. Bye-bye. And go there.